What is psychology? Derived from the two Greek terms, psyche meaning soul and ology meaning to study, is the study of the human mind. To be specific, it is the systematic scientific study of human thought, feeling and behavior, the brain's functioning categorized into those three general areas. Before I continue, I must stress that psychology is similar yet distinctly different from psychiatry. Psychologists generally have to complete a 3-year degree, whereas psychiatrists generally have to complete a minimum of 6 years, as both a psychology degree and a degree in medicine is required. As you may have guessed, the important distinction is that psychiatrists have a medical license and are capable of utilizing prescription medication or medical diagnosis in their profession, whereas standard psychologists cannot. You may have heard of psychology through television, where it is partially misrepresented in shows such as Lie to Me or The Mentalist, or possibly through hearing about famous psychological pioneers like Freud or Jung. However, despite how the science is portrayed within the media and surface thought, it is actually a long and illustrious history spanning back to the ancient Greeks and Romans, with many brilliant and many equally despicable discoveries being made throughout the centuries. Of the many specialized areas of the study of the mind, the theory of information gathered can be separated into 4 specialized areas, known as the 4 basic levels of explanation. These levels are as follows: the biological, the basic processes level, the person level, and lastly the social level of explanation, also known as the socio-cultural level. These areas are separate from each other for the most part, with some psychological learning fitting into more than one category, such as emotions or feelings, oftentimes classifying as both a basic processes level and as a personal level response. The biological level pertains to the human body's physical, chemical, and biological processes that occur at a subconscious level where the person has little to no control. They occur automatically, if you were to say so. It is at this level that the brain and the body's complex system of links and features are studied. For instance, when the brain is put in a stress-inducing situation, it will trigger what is known as the fight or flight response, where the body, under the control of the brain, switches into an extremely alert state fueled by the release of large quantities of chemicals, such as adrenaline and cortisol. The excessive adrenaline is released from the liver, which sits directly below the heart in order to allow the very important chemical to quickly be dispersed throughout the bloodstream, activating what is known as the sympathetic nervous system automatically, which is responsible for a quickened heart rate, increased blood flow, haltering of the digestive system, and other actions, all as a direct result of the stress, a psychological phenomenon. The basic processes level pertains to the basic commonalities that all humans share in terms of thought and cognition. For instance, emotions are categorized and analyzed at this basic processes level often as they have been proven, through various studies, to be almost universally experienced. One such study into emotion conducted by psychologist Paul Ekman, a pioneering psychologist in regards to emotion, whereby he concluded that emotions and the respective facial expressions were universal by analyzing the emotional responses of people from Papua New Guinea, in a tribe that had very little interaction with people outside of itself. He found that the facial expressions and descriptions of 6 key emotions of the tribe's people were almost indistinguishable from those responses and descriptions produced by people from a variety of other cultures, such as Americans, South Americans, and those from Europe and Britain. The person level is almost the antithesis of the basic processes level, as it focuses more on individual, non-universal experiences, such as how certain personality types affect one's experience. Analysis of stress and anxiety along with other mental health issues and disorders often fall into this category. Freud and Jung's famous series also deal mostly with a person level of explanation. Personality traits such as introverted and extroverted, submissive or dominant, leader or follower, and other such attributes are also studied at this level of explanation. Lastly, the socio-cultural level of explanation deals with the way that other humans, groups, societies, or even cultures affect a person's psychological functioning. For example, if exploring the socio-cultural level of explanation, one could observe how people who live primarily in rural areas experience anger as a result of their environment and culture. Psychological studies have demonstrated that the presence of others in societal environments also affect performance and cognition, such as a theory that for simple tasks, like bouncing a ball for instance, the presence of others has a positive effect on the one being viewed, allowing them to perform the task better or more accurately. And this is in contrast to complex tasks, such as reciting a dance routine, where the presence of others has been shown to have a negative effect on the one being viewed.